everybody, it's Jackie from Otherwise, and welcome to my channel. Today we're making pan-seared chicken with a mushroom sage sauce. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some rice. And I've already measured out 2 cups of rice and 4 cups of water. Now I'm going to make some extra because I'll probably make some chicken fried rice tomorrow. So I want to go ahead and have it done so it can set up in the refrigerator and harden a little bit. And I hope that you'll check out that recipe. I've made that before. So look for it on the Otherwise channel. So first I'm going to pour in my 4 cups of water. And I'm going to add my 2 cups of rice. I'm going to put this on the stove and set it for high. I'm going to let it come to a boil, and then I'm going to reduce the heat down to 1 or low, and then I'm going to cover it with the lid. Okay, so let's go over our ingredients list. We have, I always use chicken thighs. The recipe calls for 4 chicken breasts, but I prefer the thighs. And these still have the skin on them, and you'll want the skin on them. And they're supposed to be dried, so that's why I've got the paper towels to soak up any juice. We'll need salt and pepper, sage, olive oil. It calls for a shallot, but I don't buy shallots, they're too expensive. So I just have a small onion, white wine, and it calls for cremini mushrooms, which I can never find. So these are just white button mushrooms. I've already washed them, and I know they say not to wash them, but as long as you don't get the water in the gills, I think it's fine, and it takes a whole lot less time to just wash them. It calls for a cup of heavy cream. I don't have a cup of heavy cream, so I'm going to use some evaporated milk and 3/4 cup of evaporated milk and 1/4 cup of butter. And that provides the fat that you need to make a substitute for heavy whipping cream. So I'm going to use this chicken broth that I made from my slow cooker chicken. So let's get started. I'm going to use my large cast iron pan. I'm going to put a tablespoon of oil in my cast iron frying pan. And I'm going to set it on the stove on medium-high heat until it starts smoking. And then I'm going to add my chicken. And I'm just going to swirl it around in there until it covers everything. I set it to 8 or medium-high. I'm going to take my chicken and I'm going to salt and pepper it on both sides. And make sure you wash your hands after you touch your chicken. You don't want salmonella. I'm going to chop up my mushrooms. And my recipe calls for thin slices. I'm only using like 4 ounces of mushrooms. It calls for 8. But I usually find myself in want of mushrooms after not too long, so I'm going to ration my mushroom. I hear my rice boiling, so I'm going to, you don't have to stir it, but I'm going to stir it. I just like to do that. And then I'm going to cover it. I reduced the heat to low, and I'm just going to let it cool down just a bit before I cover it so it doesn't overflow. And I'm going to chop my onion. My pan is smoking, and I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken skin side down. Add your chicken, laying it away from you so it doesn't splatter on you. I'm going to go ahead and wash my plate so I can use it again. So I need to cook my chicken about 5 minutes. and it's been well browned. I'm going to go ahead and open my bottled wine. While my chicken is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and measure out the rest of my ingredients. So I need 1/4 cup of fresh sage, and I don't have that. So I'm going to use a tablespoon of dried sage, and we're going to try that and see if I can taste it. I think we need some more. Everything goes in the pan all at the same time, so I used my glass measuring cup that I used for the rice. I just put everything in here. So I did a small dice on my onions, and I sliced the mushrooms, and then I added my sage and salt and pepper to this little container. My chicken is done on the one side, and I went ahead and flipped it over, and I'm going to reduce the heat to medium and cover it and cook it for 15 more minutes. I'm just going to take these 2 pieces of tin foil and cover my chicken to keep them warm. And I've used those 2 pieces of tin foil before. I'm recycling. That keeps my costs down. When you're doing something like this with chicken, you're going to want to have chicken with the skin on. Bone-in chicken does take a little bit longer to cook, but with the skin on, that prevents your chicken from getting burnt and provides extra moisture to your chicken. And plus, it's nice and crispy to eat. It provides good fats for your body, and it's delicious. My son has been over there, and in my face, now he's over there dancing.
Cut that out.
And he wants to be starting something. He's got to be starting something.
Yeah, starting eating.
And see there, he's talking to me. And now he's staring at me, really just right behind the camera. So he's got to be starting something. Got to be starting something. Got to be starting something. I don't know the rest of the song. Anyway, that's it. Starting something. Okay, so our mushrooms and vegetables are about done, so I'm going to add my wine. It's 1/4 cup of wine. I'm going to add my wine and let that cook for about 2 minutes until that reduces just a little bit. Now we're going to add our cream, or our evaporated milk and butter, and our chicken broth to the pan. And then we're going to cook that for 3 minutes until it's nice and saucy. Cook that saucy chicken, white girl. Cook that saucy chicken right. Cook that saucy chicken, white girl. Lay down and boogie and cook that saucy chicken till it's done. Oh, till it's done. Oh, till it's done. Yeah. I'm going to put my butter in first to melt a little bit before I put the other ones in. I'm just going to taste our sauce and see if it needs some salt and pepper, and then if so, then I'll add that. So let's taste the sauce. I'm going to add just a little bit more salt and a touch of pepper. Okay, so here it is. We've got our chicken on a bed of rice with the sauce right on top. And I made some green beans to go with it. So let's give it a taste. My plate is hot. The chicken has a nice crispy crust. The chicken is nice and tender and juicy. The sauce is so flavorful and delicious and velvety, and it's just an amazing dish. It's easy to make and delicious. I hope you'll try it. And remember, dinner's at 6. Cook that saucy chicken, white girl. Cook that saucy chicken right. Cook that saucy chicken, white girl. Lay down and boogie and cook that saucy chicken till it's done. Oh, till it's done. Here's your saucy chicken, white boy. Here's your saucy chicken cooked right. Here's your saucy chicken, white boy. Your mama done and cooked it. You cook that saucy chicken till it's done. Oh, till it's done. There's no one like you. I can't wait for the times with you. I imagine the things we do. I just wanna be loved by you. So like, subscribe, and ring